Well, students, good afternoon to all of you. Today we are going to discuss the important topic of MEd, Indian Education Commission, or it is popularly known as a Kothari Commission 1964-66. Right, guys? So basically, I just tell you these are some of the commissions, national education policies after independence came, right? So it is in your syllabus. First, commissions came in 1952-53. Second commissions came in 1964-66. Okay. And then third, on the number third, National Policy of Education came in 1986. And just 1-2 years back, New Education Policy 2020 has come. Okay, guys. So you can say that after the independence, 3 or 4 up to, commissions or policies has come. So today we are discussing the Indian Education Commissions, which came in 1964-66. Right, guys? So it is in your syllabus, right? It is in the paper 2, right? So this commission is headed by the Dr. D.S. Kothari in 1964, right, guys? Actually, the actual name of this commission was Indian Education Commission, but it is popularly famous as a Kothari Commission because Dr. D.S. Kothari was the chairman of this commission. Right, guys? First, just I tell you a little bit. Basically, this education commissions came after independence, okay, immediately, because in 1964-66. So, guys, I'm talking about 1964 and 66. On that time, all the things of the education, everything of education was not systematic, right? Everything in the education was loosely constructed. Okay, there were no expert teachers. Okay, and even, guys, do you know that in 2014, B.Ed has become the compulsory subject, compulsory in order to teach in these schools. Even that before 2014, if you are not B.Ed, okay, you were teaching in the schools. So here, before starting this topic, I just want to say that, can you imagine, after 2014, approximately you can say after the independence, 53 or plus 14, after 67 years, B.Ed, became mandatory in order to teach at the school. You can imagine where we are. After 75 years of independence, we are still developing. Guys, even during the 1947 or 1950, many countries got the independence. And today, these countries are the developed country, right? And where we are, you can imagine that. Because everything depends upon the education. Because today we have the dearth of teachers, lack of expert teachers. Okay, so on that time, 1964-66, Kothari Commission was set up in order to improvement in the educational institutions. So, guys, today in this topic, we will discuss what were the objectives of these commissions and what were the recommendation of this commission, right? So basically, the main task of this commission was to advise the government on the national pattern of education and on the general policies for the development of education at all stages, ranging from the primary to postgraduate stage, right? Okay, so this is a important subheading. What was the need and appointment for this commissions? Need for appointment of commission 1964-66. Right? Number 1. Means you can see that during that time, 1964-66, there were many flaws in the education, right? So, number 1, need for a comprehensive policy of education in spite number of education committees after independence. Well, what was happening, guys, after the 1947, number of committees of the education was coming and they were giving their proposal and it was not implemented on the national level. So there is a requirement, there was a requirement on that time to frame a, such kind of a policy of education, which could be implemented on the nation level. Okay. The number second, what was the need? Need for detailed study and expansion of education. Right? Means, what was happening on that time? There are many states, every state has, different kind of a curriculum. Curriculum was not, you can say, it was standardized, right? So number third is need to emphasize role of people in national development. Next, need to make people aware that they have a share in the national development along with government. Need for overview of educational development to create more integration between various parts and consider it as a whole, not as a fragments, right? And need for positive approach to the status of teacher. Well, what was happening over there? Well, there was no such kind of a course developed. And if the person has done the graduations and 10th or +2 and he is teaching, well, can you imagine, without going through the process of B.Ed, M.Ed, can you become an effective teacher? Because you don't have the knowledge of educational philosophy, don't have the knowledge of educational psychology, teaching learning process, how you can say that you are, teaching very effectively to the student? So guys, there were many flaws, okay? So you can imagine after the, 3-4 commissions and national education policies, now today, okay, we have got the National Policy of Education 2020. Okay, so it is a very good policy. Okay, but we are discussing the, Indian Education Commission, which was set up by the Kothari in 1964 and 66. In this, we will discuss what was the need and appointment of the commissions and what was the recommendations. Okay, so these are the need and appointment we have just discussed. Next, we talk about what was the goals and objectives of the commission. Okay, so these four. Number one, education for increasing productivity. Number second, education for an accelerating process of modernization. Number third, educating for promoting social and national integration. And number four, education for inculcations of national values. Right? If today we have got a very good policy, National Policy of Education 2020, so it was a result of that, on the previous commissions. Okay. But the problem is that after the 1986, after 34 years, we got the National Policy of Education. And guys, that, there is a, lot of changes is going on in this, world, every 5 years, every 10 years, right? So why we got delayed in the, to implement the education policy after 34 years? Because last policy on education came in 1986, which was improvised in 1992. And after, 32 years, we are getting a National Policy of Education. So this is the reason we are, still developing nations. Okay, we are putting up in the developing nations. Okay, so these were the goals and objectives of the commission. Next, we talk what was the recommendation of Indian Education Commissions or Kothari Commissions given by the Dr. D.S. Kothari, right? Number one, free and compulsory education. So guys, our Article 45 says that there should be a free and compulsory education up to the age of 14, right? But on that time, it was not implemented. Even in today, when you see that many of the schools, they are not putting up such, article. We are not using, such kind of, recommendations, free and compulsory education, right? And programs should be developed to reduce the prevailing wastage and stagnation in schools and to ensure universal enrollment, right? Because there is a, lot of dropout in the schools. You have seen that even we are putting in 2022, we are looking that, many of the students, many of the children at the age of a 14, 15, 16, they are working in, many shops and others. Okay. But our constitution says that, okay, it is, it is mandatory. Article 45 says that free and compulsory education up to the age of a 14. Yeah, you can say that the primary education. Okay. This is a fundamental right. Even, many slum area person, people, they don't know this, fundamental, right? And, and their children, they are working in the different places. So that was the recommendations. Even now it has become the law, RTE, right to education's 2010, right? So because we were looking that, after many years, okay, it was not implemented. So ultimately in the year of a 2010, we have the topic of a RTE 2010, okay, 2009, sorry, RTE 2009, Right to Education Act 2009. So 2009 May it has become the act. Okay, if any of the student up to the age of a 14, if he or she works in any of the shops, so then actions can be taken by the government to the parents and as well as, to all the persons who are doing such kind of a malpractice, right, guys? So first recommendation is free and compulsory education, which was given by the Kothari Commission. Free and compulsory education. Number second, language policy, right? Under the language policy, production of a books and literature, particularly scientific and technical in regional languages, right? Means it should come in the regional languages, right? Regional languages to be made language of administrations for the regions. The mother tongue or the regional languages, English language to serve as a link language in higher education for academic work. And intellectual intercommunication. Hindi to be served as a link language and spread of a Hindi and non-Hindi areas, right? Next, education for democracy. So under this, what was the recommendation? Promotions of a programs of a adult education. Up now, on that time, many of the persons, they left the study, okay? And, they are putting, because first of all, they have to see the bread and butter, first of all, right? So, they have the, they don't have the such kind of a, you can say, mind ki after getting the educations, we are getting the jobs. Okay, many of the persons, many of the poor persons, persons, they are putting up in the, slum areas. So what they have the mentality? They have the mentality when the, children are growing up, they should do the work, right? So on that time, Kothari, Dr. D.S. Kothari recommended that there should be a promotions of the adult education. It means whosoever who left the education due to the financial issues and due to any of the problem, so they got a chance, okay, to educate, right? And next, expanding secondary and higher educations and providing equal opportunities for the children of a merit and promises, irrespective of economic status, caste, religion, sex, place of residence, right? And next, development of a scientific mind and outlook. Tolerance, concern for public interest and public service, self-discipline, self-reliance, initiative, and a positive attitude to work, right? The next point is education for social, moral, and spiritual values, right? So under this point, Dr. D.S. Kothari says that center and state government should adopt measure to introduce educations in moral, social, and spiritual values in all institutions under their control based on the recommendations of University Education Commissions and the Committee on Religious and Moral Instruction, right? Means such kind of educations, education should be social, moral, and spiritual, right? You can compare the education system of India with the other country, right? Our education system is very religious education system, right? Even the NRIs, okay, they want that their children should be educated through the, Indian education system. The next recommendation is education for social and national integration, right? So under this point, Dr. D.S. Kothari recommended that, education should integrate social and national service programs concurrently with academic studies in school and colleges for all students at all stages, as well as participations in programs of a community development, right? Next point is education for international understanding, right? Means education should be such a type, guys. There should be a national integration as well as international integration. That's why now you have seen that now many of the persons from the India, okay, they go to the different countries, right? And the persons from different countries, they are coming in the India, okay. This is the meaning of a international understanding as well as national integrations or international integrations, okay. So under the point of a education for international understanding, Dr. D.S. Kothari recommended that school should promote international outlook, right? Means basically education is not a means whosoever is educated, his mind is so educated, matlab he should have the national outlook, international outlook. Matlab education doesn't want that, does not create the narrow mindedness, okay. So the purpose of education is that broadens the horizon, broadens the mind. So under the point of a education for international understanding, Dr. D.S. Kothari said that unless or until we don't develop the national integrations, we don't develop the international integrations, okay, we cannot get development, our nations. We cannot, our nations cannot be developed, okay. If nation is developing, because now on that time they have seen that many of the nations, they are developing due to the education, due to such kind of a national understanding and international understanding. So next is a common school system, okay. Under the common school system, Dr. D.S. Kothari said that the common school must be open to all children, irrespective of a caste, creed, community, and economic or social status, right? It should maintain a good standard of education in order to meet the needs of the average parents. In fact, there should be a common school system, and on that common school system, children of any kind of parent, irrespective of a color, caste, creed, okay, they should go and get the education. Next, school education system 10+2+3 system. So guys, do you know that now? Our education structure is a, pattern is till today is a 10+2+3, because, first of all, child, enters into the school system. After the 10th, he clears the 10+2, then 3 years for graduation, right? But it became, when the Kothari, Dr. D.S. Kothari in 1964-66, he recommended for 10+2+3 system. Earlier, before the 1964-66, there was, 9th, 10th, prep, that was not, standardized. There was not a structured of school education system. So 10+2+3, I think you have got the point. 10th means, first of all, child will clear the matric. 2 matlab +2, he will clear, and 3 is a graduation, right? And age of admissions to the class 1 orderly, not to be less than 6. Means when the child reaches in the class of a first, okay, the age should be 6, right? Okay, next, the science educations, okay. So science education must become an integral part of a school educations, and the quality of a science teaching must also be improved considerably, right? He also recommended the work experience. Work experience must be introduced as an integral part of all education. Work experience has the following benefits. Number 1, it will bridge the gap between intellectual and manual work. It will decrease the over academic nature of a formal education. It will make the entry of a youth into the world of a work and employment easier by enabling them to adjust themselves to it. Work education. Work education means do the work, with the hand also, right? Manual work also. He promoted the manual work also. Next is a vocationalization, right? So Dr. Kothari also recommended the vocationalizations under this heading. This will surely bring educations into the closer relationship with productivity. In the modern Indian society, which is heading towards industrializations, it is essential to considerably expand professional educations at the university stage, especially in the agriculture and technological fields. Means he promoted the vocationalizations. Means with the education, there should be a integrations of a vocationalization, so that when the child will clear the education, he should have some, you can say, you know, technique in his hand. He should have some skill in his hand. Means after the education, he should get a job on the spot. Okay, so he recommended the vocationalizations also, right? Now you have seen that now under the new education policy, there is a much emphasis given on the vocationalizations of education, right? Now our educations and even the educations of the different countries has become the, you know, vocationalizations. Okay. Next, teacher status. Okay. Dr. D.S. Kothari also recommended that government of India should lay down for the school stage minimum scales of the pay for the teacher and assist the state and union territories to adopt equivalent or higher scales to suit their conditions. So guys, on that time, you know what happened? You know, the teachers, they were getting a very low salary. If the teachers are, uh, uh, you can imagine that if they are getting, if now in this day, teacher is getting a, you know, low salary, how he can teach effectively to all, right? Even although he is a, you know, human being now, first of all, he will think that, okay, what he is getting. So under the, you know, teacher status, Dr. D.S. Kothari recommended that, you know, the scale of the pay should be increased, right? Scale of pay of school teacher belonging to the same category but working under different management, such as a government, local bodies, or a private management, should be the same, right? Now you can see that in today's world, today's in 2022, right? Even the teacher, even the principal, they are getting a very good salary, right, guys? Teacher education. Next point is the teacher education. Okay, teacher education program should be improved. Okay, what is a teacher education program? You are doing the MEd, okay, B.Ed, MEd, ETT, these all are the teacher education's program. Okay, so Dr. Kothari recommended that there should be improvement in the teacher education program. Means skill in teaching, in service program, you know, pre-service program, so that teacher should be updated with the current trend. Okay, what is going on in this, you know, modern society, right? Okay, next is the school education curriculum. Okay, Dr. Kothari also recommended that, you know, curriculum under this heading, okay, curriculum should be the same, right? Means it should not be happened, you know, the curriculum means syllabus. Okay, syllabus of the Punjab state is different, okay, with the Haryana state, right? Curriculum of the Delhi state is different from the, you know, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and South, Hana. So that, he recommended that there should be a, you know, common curriculum system for the improvement of a school curriculum. Research should be undertaken by the University Department of Education, training colleges, State Institute of Education, and Board of School Education. Okay. So guys, you have seen that now in today, okay, if the person is, you know, child of any parent is doing the, you know, 7th class of the any of the different state, okay, and when he gets the transfer and comes to the different state, so you can see that there is a no effect because curriculum is almost same. Okay, so but on that time, that was the curriculum was not same. So that's why Kothari Commission has recommended that regarding the school education's curriculum also, curriculum should also be the same. So guys, thank you so much. So, you know, today we discuss the, you know, Kothari Commission. Basically, it is known as the Indian Education Commission, right, guys? So sometime, you know, questions come, describe about the Indian Education Commissions. Full questions can come. Okay. So guys, you should know that. Okay, examiner sometime, can write that, explain the, Kothari commissions in detail. So under the Kothari commission, first of all, you have to talk about, okay, when this commission was started, put up, okay, what was the name of the chairman name of this commission? Okay, number third, you have to make the heading, what is the need for appointment of this commission? Okay, then guys, you have to talk about the goals and objectives of the commission. And last, you have to talk about the recommendations of the commissions. And in last, okay, you can conclude within a 5 or 6 lines, right? So today we discuss about the, Kothari commissions, which was set up in 1964 by the Dr. D.S. Kothari. So thank you so much, guys, for this topic. Okay, next we will discuss the National Education Policy 1986, right? Thank you so much. So I hope you have understood. So I'm going to, stop the recording. Okay.